cracked lips and heels have already set in after the holidays. But if you are a driver, that might not be your major concern. Yours may be fog that stands in your way, driving either at dawn or at night. Well, I'm talking about the harmattan season. It's here again, and that means poor visibility, especially from dawn to mid-mornings. It gets worse, of course, in the mountainous areas. Yesterday, there were a lot of minor accidents recorded in the eastern region, and it's been largely attributed to drivers' carelessness and failure to follow road regulations during the harmattan season. We'll have a conversation with Director in charge of Education, Research and Training at the Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, DSP Alexander Obing. But before I let him into this conversation, let's go over the line and speak with Maxwell Kudeko, our Eastern Regional Correspondent. He's been following up on this. Hello, Maxwell. What can you report?
Well, good afternoon, Vicky. Visibility on our road, especially during the night, has become a challenge on our part of the country, especially Eastern region where we have so many mountainous roads. Even in the regional capital, most of our major roads do not have street lights. Those with street lights are not working. One area that has become a major concern to road users is the Kofodia-Mansi Accra road, where a fog is usually observed, especially during the night and at dawn. There are a number of the vehicular knocks within this harmattan period, especially on that stretch of road, that have caused so many drivers and road users to appeal to road safety managers to put measures in place, especially reflected on the roads, just to indicate to drivers who are using or first-time users of the road. So basically, the fog and then the harmattan become a major problem for commuters or drivers on the Mansi Kofodia road in the Eastern region.
All right, Maxwell, thank you very much. Let's just head on to the and speak with the Eastern Regional Manager for Road Safety, Kwesi Uenchi. Sir, thank you very much for your time. Can you tell us a bit about yesterday's minor accident?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. You're on Pulse on Multi TV. I'd like to find out from you what information you can give us about the minor accident you recorded in the region yesterday due to the fog.
Thank you and greetings to everyone listening to you. The accident occurred, but it's been a trend for some time now, almost about 5 years, that has been an issue. But somewhere last year, sometime last year, 2016, from 2015 to 2016, we were able to put it under control. But unfortunately, it looks like it's now coming up again. The challenge here is that many of these trucks, especially the heavy-duty trucks, don't respect the road traffic rules. There's a sign that clearly states that one does not have to go beyond 40 kilometers per hour. But many of these heavy-duty trucks, light-duty and heavy-duty trucks, they go beyond 40 kilometers per hour. Now, the challenge here is that if you go beyond the 40 kilometers per hour, considering the size of the vehicle, you can't control yourself. You will definitely lose control. And that is what is happening.
Okay, so yesterday we understand that there were a number of minor accidents as a result of the foggy weather. How many vehicles were involved?
Like I said, I wouldn't say that it is due to the foggy weather. It is because it's been happening. The traffic.
Okay, but so how many vehicles were involved in this?
Trucks. From the 31st to date, there were 2 trucks that were involved in the crashes.
Can you say that again? I didn't quite get that.
31st. From 31st.
Yes.
To date, there were only 2 trucks that were involved in the crashes.
400?
Two trucks.
Okay. Okay. So what do you have a plan? Now you're saying that you're not necessarily attributing it to the foggy weather, but in the region, what is your plan to, assuming that the foggy weather has anything to do with some of these crashes and these expected accidents? Like you said, it's a cycle. What is the plan to control it?
What we can do, and we are doing, is to appeal to drivers to respect the traffic rules. That's what we can do. Because if you know that area very well, from Mansi to Sanfuru or Safru. It is an area that is very has many caves, and at the same time a bit foggy in the morning between 5 to about 8 a.m. The fog is very, very dense, and the only thing we can do is to advise drivers and also tell drivers that if you don't know the route, then when you get to Mansi Roundabout, park until you can see a way forward. Or the best thing to do is make sure that you don't go beyond 40 kilometers.
Okay.
And don't engage. Your gears should be below. You should always drive in low gears. That's what we can say.
Okay, sir, thank you very much for your time. Kwesi Yuenchi is a Eastern Regional Manager for Road Safety. Let's broaden the discussion and look at a nationwide plan. DSP Alex Obeng is already here in the studio. So you're welcome and Happy New Year.
Thank you and
right.
Many happy returns.
Yeah, we hope that this year there will be very, if not zero, record of road accident. But then you've heard what he's just said. He's saying that it's not. There's been a few crashes, but it's not as a result of the foggy weather.
No, I think, thank you very much.
Right.
And our regards to Mr. Rinchi and your correspondents and Ghanaians. We are here again. I think the discussion was centered on N4, the road that departs from the Kwashi through Adentan over the Aburi Mountains and it turns left at Manfi Roundabout and descends the Kintampo Bisa Range to Koforidua. And there are a lot of curves, and therefore drivers are expected to, at all times, even when the visibility is clearer, to keep to your lane and move at a very prudent, slow speeds, and either climbing or descending. And that has been part of training for all drivers. So that is what Mr. Irigi was emphasizing, that it has to do with driver competence and discipline and compliance with road law. However, in times like this, when we have doctor, when we have a harmattan with us, it comes with its attendant particulates in the atmosphere that blurs vision.
Right.
And because these are suspended dust for flying all over from certain continent and descending on us, and it impedes movements.
Right.
Visibility becomes very poor. I'm just on the N6. This morning I left Accra and I'm on it on the road, and I turned at Asuna at Nkoko, and I'm back here and I'm at this studio. I went to observe the visibility is a bit poor, but it is not all that poor. You can see 300 meters away, and therefore, if you are a driver and you are compliant with the road law, and you are moving at a prudent speed, and you are keeping to your lane, and you are not unlawfully overtaking and changing lanes, and you are not leaving your vehicle in dangerous conditions or position without displaying reflective materials, definitely the roads will be safer and all that. So I've gone there, Director General Center there. I'm just right from there, I entered the studio. And so generally, I want to say that the last month, the last week of the year, the Christmas week, was a bit peaceful because they registered minimal crashes from 24th to 30th December.
Could you go through the figures for us?
Yes. We compared with the same period, 2016. We registered 238 road crashes within that week.
Okay, so which date are we looking at?
We're looking at 24th to 30th December.
To 30th December.
That was the last week of last year.
Wouldn't that be 31st December?
We have that one too. That we also looked at 31st and 1st. But this is the last week of the year.
24th to 30th.
It sends certain signal.
Okay.
That there were minimal crashes.
Okay, so this is 238 for 2017.
The year before, the week, it registered 257. Well, let's be mindful that vehicles have increased, and then road users have increased. So vehicles that were involved in these crashes within the week were 366 nationwide, and the year before it was 380.
Okay. Shall we now look at 31st and 1st?
Yeah, I think we can also look at that one. And let me see. 31st and 1st.
Right, so we're still having a conversation with DSP Alex Obeng. on keeping safe on our roads, and we're just going through the figures for the crashes that we've recorded between 24th and of course 1st of December. So 31st and 1st, yes.
Yes, within the 2 days of festivity, we compared with the same period a year earlier, 2016.
Yeah. And
we registered 66 crashes this just ended New Year.
Okay.
Compared with the previous, it was 41. So this year it wasn't.
It's gone up.
Oh, that it was gone up. And
okay, so would you, since we're looking at 31st and 1st, would you still not attribute this to the fact that there's foggy weather and the fact that there's also poor visibility, because we have not helped our road users by fixing the necessary street lights that will help the drivers, you know,
because if you look at where these, for example, the deaths that resulted, when you look at where it happened, 7 occurred in Accra. Okay, because in all the 2 days, we lost 21 Ghanaians, or road users, and even in this region where we have a lot of mountainous topology.
Yeah, okay.
Then there was nil. Nobody died.
Nobody died in the eastern region.
And then when you looked at the upper west region and upper east, where the harmattan is also very pronounced. The upper east only 1, and upper west nobody died. And western region, where we have, is a forested area, and normally coincide with the natural geographic foggy condition coupled with this harmattan, and even we had nail there. So it like Mr. Renchi said, it has to do with the perennial indiscipline among certain road users.
But are you not blaming drivers too much for something that perhaps road safety persons, including yourself, should be doing? How safe are our roads?
When I say road users, I'm not blaming drivers, because see, of these crashes that I'm talking about, 21 deaths, 5 were pedestrians. Okay, they are pedestrians, and it might also be that they were jaywalking. They did not cross the road appropriately. They were drunk, and they were roaming on the road, and they were crashed. But it's also a fact that if and statistics have shown that if 100 crashes occur, you could attribute about 50 to speeding drivers among others. So indiscipline among road users is a major bane to our road safety management in Ghana. And that's why we always want to diagnose and come out with what is it that we have in the data indicating to us for us to tackle it, because the devil is in the detail. And so we should always understand that because we have more powerful road users who are vehicle users, both commercial, private, and then motorcycle riders, there's always the chances that, as powerful as they are, they would like to trample on the rights of the vulnerable. And the vulnerable may also be pedestrians and all that. So it's always that when laws are made, it targets very much the powerful road users.
So in conclusion, what would you say has been the total number of road crashes and the number of Ghanaians that have been lost in the process in 2017?
All right, I think in 2017, in spite of all proactive strategies and reactive strategies that we put in place, crashes increased over 2016 by 2.66% marginally to 12,843.
12,843
road crashes nationwide.
Road crashes. And how many people died?
In the process, we lost 20,444 vehicles. And then those who we lost were 2,076, which is as seen a reduction of 5.55% compared with the same period previous year. Because the previous year, 2016, we lost 2,198. So that is the only
I see.
Encouraging thing, because but we also know that
because the accidents actually increased, but then a lot of people did not die.
Yes, because, but we know one death is one too many. But it's also indicates to us that if you continue to admonish road users, particularly drivers, to moderate their speed, it will help.
It will help,
because
okay.
what this year, what caused all these increases in accident had to do with pedestrians. Because a pedestrian knockdown increased by 11.45% from 2,961 to 3,300. And out of this, of the 2,076 that were killed in Ghana on our roads, 870 now were pedestrians. And therefore, most of our effort this year will be focused on vulnerable road users, admonishing them, pedestrian safety, promoting it, even in construction and even in enforcement, so that jaywalking and people who sell by roadside and all that, everybody's hands will be on deck. Because the more we promote and protect them, the more there will be minimal incidents of crashes, deaths, associated injuries, and damage to properties.
Okay, all right. So finally, sir, what would you say is your plan? Do you have a plan for the foggy season? Are you going to increase the number of lights on roads in the mountainous areas? Or advocates. Of course, that is that is not your mandate. But are you going to advocate for that with the state institutions that you work with? You know, to increase the.
I think in police urban jurisdiction, the streets has to be given the necessary illumination. Lights should be there. And I think we also use this period to admonish road users, particularly drivers, particularly those who drive on rural highways. Well, that's where we see to have the impact of this harmattan and the foggy condition and the poor visibility. That in all of this, the most important thing that you have to know is that we all have the mental map. It happens every year. It's seasonal. That you keep to your lane. You are taught, keep to your lane, move slowly. And when it is worsened, like Mr. Renchi said, then you pull over and hold on a while. Because at dawn, at the 3rd hour of the morning, from let's say 3 to about 5 o'clock, it becomes very pronounced. So, particularly those in the mountainous areas, in the Bree Mountains and in the Kwau areas and in the Shantimampon, Kwaman area and Kumawu and all those in the what do you call Kampaka and all those places, and then around between Bupe and Kintampo, these areas are known to be mountainous, and even those in the what do you call Volta areas and drivers should understand the times
the times are in and drive accordingly.
And put on their defensive driving caps. However, we will partner with you and continue to sensitize all road motorists to know the times and moderate in their speed. And passengers should also admonish their drivers. They should not encourage them to speed.
Well, just in case you forgot, I mean, it's been, once it starts in January, it goes away. So if within the 11 other months you forgot, this is just to remind you to be careful, to, like DSP is saying, be mindful of the times we're in and drive accordingly. Prudent speed, he says, that is something that could stop you from getting involved in any accidents during if you're experiencing any foggy weather. DSP Alex Sobeng is with the MTTD. He is in charge of research and education. Sir, thank you very much for coming. And hopefully there will be fewer crashes, no deaths at all, hopefully. And then we can say it's been a good year at the end of the year once again.